should be. It's really confused me. I don't really know what to do. Tell me if you love Sierra Leone. This is time to show your love. If you really love Sierra Leone, I want you to ask yourself, what have you done for Sierra Leone? Do not ask yourself what Salon has done for you. Try to do something to fulfill that promise you have made. Let there be nothing in your mind that can stop you not to love Sierra Leone. You just have to love your Sierra Leone. Your only country, Sierra Leone, full of natural resources. Why are you running away from your only country, Sierra Leone? Let's come together as one to lift the green, white, and blue. Oh, Sierra Leonean, where have you gone? What do we have to sing on down, sing? Oh, Sierra Leonean, where have you gone? Come back to your loving Sierra Leone. Your only country, Sierra Leone, full of natural resources. Why are you running away from your only country, Sierra Leone? Let's come together as one to lift the green, white, and blue. Yes, I know there are many countries that won't make money easily. That is not the stress in my heart. My stress is for you to come back, to come back to Sierra Leone. I want you all to know that there's no other place like home. What is going on in Sierra Leone? What is going on in Sierra Leone? For things to be going like this, I don't.
Good afternoon and warm welcome to Nimadina Television. Nimadina Television is an institution that intends to promote the peace and development of Mama Liberia, Nimakante Ye Liberia. We are on this television service every day from Monday to Friday, showing that issue of national concern aired, especially issues that has to do with the growth and development of our country, Mama Liberia. We discuss it right here on this television service. We promote peace, we promote unity, we promote development on Nima District Now Television. My name is Mark Down. Today I'm here also along with veteran journalist Kennedy.
Thank you so much.
Well, today we're going to be doing a very special thing here. We're going to be having a special interview with Nima County District Number 9 representative, the Honorable Johnson in Waikulu. Today he's going to be our guest on this very special interview. Honorable, welcome to Ina TV.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
a pleasure to be with you.
I know the week today is weekend, and I say weekend.
Not bad. It's okay. In our own functions and responsibilities, every day is a working day. So it's a pleasure to have you with us here to talk about District Number 9 and Nimba County as a whole.
So our viewers, we want to say welcome wherever you are in the United States of America, in Liberia, in the UK, and wherever you are on the World Wide Web. We want to say thanks for joining us on Nima Dina Television this hour. Well, today, specifically, like I said, our attention has been due to issue coming from Nima County, develop issue of concern coming from Nima County, specifically the issue that has to do with health in Nima County. I'm going to how is Nima? First of all, how's the district before we go follow up with Nima?
The district is good. I was in the district about 6 weeks, 7 weeks ago before I went to the United States. And since I came back, I've not gone back to the district yet, but I've been in touch with the citizens of the district. We are trying to organize our own, adjustment to the county sitting budget. Yeah, if you recall the county council sitting budget, that's what we're going through now. Once we complete that, then I'll be able to carry some news to them.
Is there something there now for the district?
Yes, we hope so because the about 2 weeks ago, the government released to the county $1.6 million United States dollars, but 1.1 million of that amount has been transferred into the county's account. Yeah, another 500,000 is still is still in the government's account, but the government has authorized its bank to transfer that money into the county account. So, as such, we are now revising the budget that we from over a year ago. I think that budget was over $3 million, and now we have to revise it down to $1.6 million. So as a carry on our project. So certainly there will be something there for all the 9 districts of the Nima County.
So, talking about District 9, uh, if there is something there for the district, what are some of those issues of concern that you think the district should be focusing on?
Well, we had a district sitting as well, and we agreed on a number of projects. We know that the major challenge in District Number 9 is road connectivity. So that was the priority that we agreed upon, at that district sitting. So what we will have to do is just revise the project, revise that decision based on the amount that will be available to the district. If you are aware, you may be aware that we started a self-help project on the road rehabilitation, and we did some work from Gawi to Sigefa, the district headquarters. And so once we have the transfer to the district for the district, then we continue that project to other parts of the district. Another major project that we agree upon that has not been done yet and is critical is the Town School and the wall bridge that is near Doorstown. Yeah, that bridge was agreed upon, but nothing has been done yet. The self-help initiative that is taken by the town people and the plan people, and we are working along with them, until we can get that funding available.
Okay, Roberto, I think you are not just ordinary representative from District 9 in Limba. You serve as a co-chair in Limba Legislative Caucus. And there are actually issues now in Limba, specifically in Tapetan Belt. The issues of Tapetan, you are also part of the representative that you are representing the whole district that forms part of the sector of Capital District. Now, the Jackson Fiado Hospital in Geneva that falls within the secretary of the Capital Bell is facing very serious challenge. There is a news for that hospital that coming up and there be attention there. So, is that have been brought to your attention?
Yes, it has been brought to the attention of the entire caucus, particularly those of us who are closer, to our districts are much closer to the JFD Hospital, Jackson Fiado Hospital. It was very disappointing, very annoying, very upsetting for us to have heard that a team had gone from Monrovia to Tapeta to remove the JFD referral hospital. It was very annoying. We want to take this time to just thank and appreciate the citizens and the local administrators, the local government officials, and the county administration for acting swiftly to exercise their fiduciary responsibility, for not allowing the equipment to be taken away until there's clarity and understanding as to how this equipment is being taken away, why it is being taken away, and how will that relationship, that situation be handled. And so the county superintendent was dispatched by the caucus, headed by Senator Johnson. He was very swift, meaning the senator. The superintendent went out there and had a meeting with the county official, the local officials, statutory district superintendent, with the hospital administrators and medical chief medical officer, and so forth, just and the town people, just to discuss what was obtaining, because we know, and let's look at things from a perspective. Yeah, from a perspective. Uh, JFD was constructed in that region as a referral hospital to serve not only Nimba County, not even only Liberia, but neighboring countries as well. And we know that it has been a benefactor, to people from the southeast, to people from La Cote d'Ivoire, and even Guinea, and even from here in Monrovia. And so for people to go out there and remove critical pieces of equipment suggests that this hospital is of no value, which is not the case. So there were some major missteps by those who try to manage this exercise.
Government is saying that they want to use this equipment at the GFK for 2 months.
And that's fine. And I think the position of the caucus and all of us is not that we are insensitive to the national medical needs that we have in this country. No, it's a matter of just being systematic. We know that we understand that there are times that equipment can be shared, especially so equipment such as this neurosurgical microscope. This is a very expensive piece of equipment. And we understand only one of it is in Liberia right now. It is so sensitive that it has binoculars attached to it. It's even attached to a screen such that when the surgery is going on, people can monitor that. It has those kinds of sensitivity. And so it costs anywhere from 50, 60, $70,000 to $100,000. And so that's a very important piece of equipment. So if another entity needs to borrow that, there's no problem. But it is the procedure that is the issue at bar. Because if you want to remove such a sensitive, important equipment from one facility to another, there must be rules to govern that. Who is taking it? How long are you taking it for? What will happen if something happens to it? How will it be managed? How long will you keep it for? None of those questions have been answered. It was only at this discussion to our understanding that the medical team, the administrator at the GFB hospital said that the Minister of Health had written them, asking them to release the equipment to JFK to be returned as determined at a later date. What is
There
a
was
later
no
date?
specific date
No,
set up by
there was no specific date set up, by or proposed, by JFK or the
Yeah,
Minister of Health. Yes.
This is not the first of its kind for equipment to be removed from the hospital. According to citizens, just a month and a half ago, the city scanner was also removed from the hospital to be brought later to the public person. We are not going to.
That's the fear.
What have they all rule?
Well, it is only now that we are
Sight.
beginning, that we are beginning to hear about this. That's why we thank the citizens of Tapeta for taking that responsibility to stop the action from being carried out, and then they place calls to all of us when that helicopter landed in Tapeta, and they observed the team going to JFD to remove the equipment. Calls started coming, and so we got involved into it immediately. That's when we got to realize that just what you said, that other pieces of equipment had been removed much earlier without any indication as to when they will come by. So at the end of the day, then JFD, a referral hospital that has been serviceable to the people of this country and even the neighboring countries, will remain in that region as a ghost facility, as an empty frame that will not be, beneficial to anybody. You see, that's the concern that we have. So, and interestingly, the lower houses chairman on health is part of the Nimba Legislative Caucus. So the common courtesy of the administrators informing the chairman to say, look, this request has been made to us, or even the requester to say, look, we want this piece of equipment from JFD. You are the chairman on health, and this is from your county. None of that was done. You see, so we believe that these missteps have to be created. We understand that there is a program to be administered at JFK. In fact, it was to be done at both JFK and JFD. A team usually comes to this country and offers free medical services, which we wholly and welcome. We wholeheartedly welcome those kinds of initiatives. And so something that have been planned for a while, and we also know
But some are
that
suggesting that while such service can go to GFD, instead they are bringing equipment from GFD to GFD.
the issue, the question that has been raised, the concern that has been raised is road connectivity, access to JFD at this time, which is untenable. Rainy season, we know it gets to be a challenge to travel to the hospital. But proper planning and feasibility studies that should have been done would have created a condition for proper decisions to have been taken. To say, well, look, we have done all the studies. We know that it will be a challenge to get to JFD. So let's look at what we can get from JFD to JFK to service more persons, and after that, return the equipment to where we borrow it from. And within a written guideline, you can't just do it, without any proper governing instrument. But none of that has been done. And so the discussion was that the feedback we got from the county administration and the local people in Tapeta is that the administrators acknowledge the misstep, and so they will take the proper steps now so that this program cannot be jeopardized or undermined without having the proper equipment, because neurosurgical procedures are required. When these people come here, there are some people who have to get that kind of medical treatment. If you don't have the proper equipment to serve them, then their visit would have been in vain.
So who should be held responsible for this misinformation? Now, a simple have been sent out there that the virus are violence people. Uh, Doctors were, disgraced, were beaten during the crisis yesterday. They 2 days ago in Tapeta, and the information I found that the virus are violent people. There was, some disturbances at the hospital. Now, who do you think would be held responsible for the disturbances and the use that are going out to tarnish the reputation of citizens?
Well, first of all, if violence occurred where people were beaten and assaulted and physically challenged, then that's wrong.
And the doctors, the medical doctors are threatening to leave or the hospital.
Yes, we've heard
Because
that.
according to them, they were attacked by citizens.
Yes, if they were attacked, then that's wrong. That's totally wrong. It's unacceptable. Stating your case of not remove the equipment does not require any physical assault or anything. Just discussion was what was needed at that time. So those who may have gotten involved in assaulting the medical personnel and even the general administrator of the place wrongfully did so, and it is not acceptable, not at all. What needed to have been done and what may have caused the anger and being angry should not have led to beating up anybody or so. Simply should have required stating reasons why this equipment should not be taken away, citing examples of equipment that have been taken away before and have not been brought back, and insisting that the proper procedures are put in place. The hospital administrators, if I was to lay blame, yeah, I will first lay it to the hospital
Because
administrators.
there was a mission complication.
Yes. So
So
if
there
they
should be an
receive,
awareness
yes,
to the citizens.
exactly. If they receive such a communication, they should have informed, their lawmakers, their council officials, the citizens, about this thing. Then, because once that structure, that facility is in Tapeta, all of us in NIMBA have that responsibility to protect it, to care for it, to make sure that it's there, serviceable, to meet the needs for which it was placed
The
there.
government should say that this hospital belongs to on a broad-based level. While citizens of NIMBA, particularly trying to personalize this institution.
No, it's not a matter of personalizing it. There's a government hospital that serves everybody. The reality is that it is located in an area. You see? So the citizens of Nimba, have that benefit service. You see? Anybody from Tapeta who gets sick gets to that hospital quicker than anybody else. Therefore, they have that responsibility to ensure that the hospital remains functional and protected and cared for, because it's within their community they get that benefit before anybody else can get it.
So, for example, on the whole, can you say that in my some type of things that went on there? So, how soon we going to get information from there that the equipment, whether or not it's going to be taken?
The caucus is on top of it, and based on the received, was that they were going to redo the communication. First, redo the communication, develop an MOU, that would define how this equipment will be shared between JFD and any other facility. In this particular case, the JFD facility. It is important because it is equipment that was provided to a specific hospital. So if another hospital wants to use it, for a similar purpose, then if you want to borrow something from me, just come and take one thing and go. You have to tell me, especially for a piece of equipment that is so sensitive and costly. You gotta tell me how you're gonna maintain it. You gotta tell me how long you're gonna keep it for. You gotta tell me if in case something goes wrong. You borrow my car, if the tire goes flat, will you come to me to fix that tire, or will you fix the tire before you bring it back to me? Those are the kinds of things that we look at.
That has been the concern of some Liberians, apart from the Malians, that moving such equipment here and there, probably something goes wrong just in a matter of time.
That is true. That is very true. It's a very sensitive equipment. I read on it, and they have several types of that kind of equipment. Some specifically for eyes, when you do eye surgery, ophthalmic, microscope. You got some that focuses on the ear, and this one is neurosurgical.
Yeah, yeah, man. So, finally, my brother, we are getting the concentrator.
I know, eh? This is really a good news. A good news, my brother.
Do you know that I was almost giving up. I lost hope. I never even thought that this will ever happen again here in Liberia.
Really?
Exactly.
As for me, I knew it would happen. I knew it. As for those people, those Asalo Beta people, they do what they say they will do.
Exactly.
And they say it will tarry, but it will not die. So it is so true in this situation, right? Look, my brother, let tussle with tussle. Sometimes we can forget to know that there are lots of things that can happen that can cause the delay.
Exactly.
Yeah? But remember, it was delayed because of Ebola. When most of us started packing and leaving this country, Asalo Meta stayed with us in this country during our difficult times. There are people stayed and helped us. It was by then I got to know that the people really care for us, man.
You are correct, my brother. You are 100% correct. And in fact, everything that you are vomiting from your mouth, I believe it. I can remember during our terrible times, all other companies we have in Liberia ran away from us, left us right here for us to take our own suffering. Thing was not easy. If you ask me to explain, my brother, thing was rough. I mean, thing was tough. You know the one that really used to get to me? I couldn't hear phone, common food to feed my family.
Imagine.
But my brother, nah. Huh? Nah. You will not believe what happened. My entire family are now happy. My children are now in school. I mean, my 2 children, they are now in school. Not just that. My brothers and my sisters, they are all now in school.
Microscope that focuses on the brain, and spinal cord, and then and all those things. So it is intended to quickly uh, improve the sight, quickly magnify, what they're looking at, so that because brain surgery is precision surgery. So moving those equipment from location to location requires special care. It's just that it's not a very big piece of equipment. Yeah, so it can be easily contained and put in its proper package and move around very quickly. Notwithstanding, care has to be taken to make sure that it is indeed kept in proper order and proper functionality, as it's being moved from place to place.
Well, if you just joined us, you're watching Nima Dina Television. We are today in conversation with Nima County District number 9 representative, the Honorable Johnson and Kwaiklo. Today we are specifically focusing on the recent news that equipment has been done, that's the Jackson Fiado Hospital was been taken away, attempted, was allegedly been taken away. So today is our guest. We're focusing on other issue of national concern. My name is Mark. I'm still here with veteran journalist Luma. Shortly, we're going to take a quick break to be right back with other issues on TV. If you just joined here, we want to say welcome. All of our viewers who are joining us, we are today live from the home of producing topics. Number one, well, let's leave Nima a bit now to talk about education. One of the fellows uh, when you were campaigning was on education. I say now.
The education sector still has major challenges. Major challenges. The sector is underfunded. The infrastructure is below standard. Instructional staff are inadequate. Instructional materials are not regular. So those issues pose challenge to the sector. Although, let me say that generally, because the performance of the students sometimes indicate that there is some improvement being made, and indeed, there is some improvement being made. Last year, the outcome of the WAS was very bad. The national exam called WAS was very bad. This year, we did a little bit better. Generally, we did a little
Even
bit
though
better.
12,000 students failed.
Yes, compared to last year, better. So there's incremental, graduation steps that have been taken in that direction. And let me say, in math, the overall performance of our students in math, we came third in the region after Nigeria and Ghana, but before Gambia and Sierra Leone. And this is, I think, our second or third year taking the WASC. So if we can come, we just join a system, if we can come third in math, then that means we stand to do better. So as the facilities have been put in, and now we've been engaging the education ministry, then they are putting in infrastructure because they need to have laboratory facilities, they need to have libraries, they need to improve their skills, the skills of the instructional staff, and so forth. And so all of that, those steps have been taken. That will require some good funding, and they are working on that.
Fortunately for you, you are chair on education at the level of the lower house. In recent times, there have been a lot of problems, especially students that have left the country, gone out to seek higher education. Like for example, in Iraq, there are a lot of students of government scholarship that are facing problems. They are not been receiving their allowances for the past 6, 7, 9 months according to them. They are created a kind of tension in Iraq with some of them are out of that pay the rent and what have you. So what have been your own interventions as a chair of education, working in collaboration with the Ministry of Education to remedy that disease?
Yeah, that has been a very unfortunate situation to see our students who are quote unquote on scholarships supported by the government and going through struggles as our students are going through struggles in Morocco. First, let me give you some background, some history. It first started with the students that were in China. The moment we took over at the beginning of our ascendancy, to the 54th legislature, the similar problem was there. They wrote us a letter raising concerns that their tuition has not been paid, they're going through difficulties, they're throwing them out of the place. And so we intervened as a committee, headed by myself, intervened with the education ministry. And that was taken care of. And I heard about this Moroccan situation when I was out of country. The moment I came back, I went to the Ministry of Education, met with the authorities there, raised the issue and said, look, the same thing that happened in China is happening in Morocco. And we are hearing ghost stories where the students are being really, disadvantaged, inconvenienced. And once you do that, the purpose for the purpose for which you went there, you're not going to achieve it. And so they told us that indeed they have engaged the finance ministry to make a remittance to them. And as of now, as of information that I got as late as yesterday, the finance was processing their payment. And I'm not there at the finance ministry, so I don't want to make this commitment before the same way will say. But I know that they're working very hard, and one can safely say we may see some results as early as next week. That's what I heard from the Ministry of and the Labor Assurance. So, but we'll stay with it. It's important for us to stay with it so that we can work together. What I know is that the Ministry of Education has been working well with every time we go out there, they open their doors to us. Every time we have an issue, they do their best to attend to it. The one that is still slow on is some instructors were removed from the payroll from their sides. We've engaged them. Some of the instructors not good. They are real human beings, that are in classes, but for some reason they were missed. And so we raised the issue with them, and so they have told us what to do. Go back to your district, let the district education officer, confirm that indeed you are active instructor, then we'll place it back on the payroll. And we're working with them on that.
Okay, you're still watching Nima District 9 Television. In case you just joining us, we want to say welcome. We're going to take a quick break. Our guest today is the Honorable Johnson N. Boykulo of District Number 9 in Dimba County. We broadcast. We want to say thanks to all of our citizens who are joining us this afternoon. Magda and Roger Kennedy Doma, veteran Liberian journalist Kennedy Doma, both of us. Take a quick break to be right back. Thanks.
You were first known as the anthem of West Africa, when all the children of your sister's country were coming to you for education. But these days, things have changed. But a pain in my heart. I am feeling pain in my heart. This has led me into stress. It really pains my heart to see people suffering every day just to get there.
back to Nima District 9 Television. We want to say thanks for joining us. We stay here with the Honorable Johnson Pueblo of District number 9, Nima County. We're going to read a few of your comments coming to us this afternoon on Nima D9 Television. This one says from Shapa, it says thanks as your comments. Okay, it says I'm watching from Boston. May Kou, thanks for joining us. Yan Zike, Yan Zike is also watching. This is what he said. It is just wrong to move and install sensitive equipment from place to place. The government of Liberia must set annual budget allocation for critical health care services and avoid actions that create public anger. And okay, keep your comments coming. We're going to read them out this evening on Nimadina Television. Although we are still here, let's talk a bit about politics.
Sure.
In can we say Liberia? In Liberia. How do you see things of recent, the way things are going in our country?
And unfortunately from the opposition belt. So we have recent elections in Montserrat, and we are here seeing how things go. Partly around the house, and the opposition side are on the central elections and the elections. We are still stored up. So how do you look at it on the overall level?
Well, first of all, the discussion group that is being held right after the